Welcome to March 2025 Strange Gaming Headlines. It's not every day that the gaming world feels like a bizarre theme park ride, but this past month delivered exactly that. From role-playing games drawing inspiration from economic recessions, yes, seriously, to a secret level that literally awarded the winner a golden ticket trip to a developer studio, it seems reality has veered into the realm of fantasy. Hang on tight, because we're about to dive into the strangest gaming news making waves right now. Spoiler alert, it's weirder than you think. If impossible levels and resurrected memes aren't enough, consider one of the largest corporate moves in recent memory. Tencent, the massive conglomerate best known for bankrolling top-tier studios around the globe, has invested a whopping $1.25 billion in a new Ubisoft spin-off. This entity is set to manage heavy-hitter franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy titles. Ubisoft's been in a tough spot lately, with uneven game receptions and stock fluctuations leading up to its next Assassin's Creed installment, codenamed Shadows. Why carve out a whole new subsidiary for these franchises instead of handling them under the usual Ubisoft umbrella? Analysts speculate it's a way to isolate big-name IPs from broader corporate troubles, or possibly to prime these titles for more aggressive cross-media expansions, maybe movies, TV series, or partnerships with streaming giants. As for Tencent, buying into global hits broadens its reach far beyond its home turf. It's a peculiar power play that makes you wonder about the future of some of gaming's most famous series. If you thought the industry was big now, wait until these billion-dollar deals start reshaping how and where we play. Collector's editions are supposed to be showstoppers. Limited-run figurines, fancy packaging, or maybe a replica sort can easily justify a price in the hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. But Dying Light took go big or go home to a comedic extreme with a $386,000 special edition. This bundle included parkour lessons, night vision goggles, and your own zombie-proof shelter. Sure, it made headlines, but in the "did they seriously think someone would buy this" kind of way. Apparently, nobody did. Techland later confirmed that not a single copy of this ultra-elite edition was sold. It's less surprising when you consider that most of us would rather buy a real house than pay the cost of one just to tie it to a video game brand. Still, you have to respect the brazen audacity, if only for the laughs. It's a prime example of modern marketing pushing boundaries, sometimes to the point where even the biggest fans have to say, no thanks. First up in the Strangeverse is an otherwise cozy fantasy RPG called Atelier Yamiya, featuring an alchemist named Raislin Risa Stout. On the surface, it looks like a light-hearted adventure. Gather ingredients, craft items, maybe save the kingdom. But fans found themselves fixated on one aspect of Risa's design, her notably thick thighs. That alone could have passed as a fleeting curiosity, except the game's producer hinted that these voluptuous aesthetics were tied to Japan's economic downturn. In a nutshell, the claim is that during rough financial times, some Japanese gamers gravitate toward more comforting, motherly figures. As bizarre as that might sound, it generated serious buzz online, with arguments spanning from "it's just a marketing ploy" to "cultural preferences do shift." Nobody can say for certain whether the studio really based its character design on economic data, but the possibility made people question how real-world events can shape even the smallest details of gaming. And that's only the tip of the iceberg for odd happenings this month. If you crave further proof that Japan marches to the beat of its own drum, here it is. A rental chain named Geo introduced a promotion allowing players to rent a PlayStation 5 for $6.56 a week. That's 8 days of next-gen gaming, shipped to your door for free, for the price of a fancy latte. Granted, this promo only applies to first-time renters, but it's a marketing masterstroke. Why almost give away something that's still in high demand? The idea is obvious. Lure people into Geo's rental system, let them experience the thrill of next-gen titles, and hope they come back for more. Whether that means renting more games, extending their rental period, or eventually buying from Geo's stock, it's a perfect example of a loss leader strategy done right. It's also an outright shock for those of us used to shelling out big bucks for new hardware. As if that's not strange enough, the next story proves that even a AAA title can go too far in the opposite direction by cranking its price tag to astronomical levels. Moving along, and this is crazy, we have a stunt so outrageous it feels like it's ripped from a storybook. Split Fiction, an already challenging action puzzle game, secretly added a level so brutal most players gave up long before the final boss. Only one individual on the entire planet finished it, and that person was rewarded with an invitation from the developer to preview their next unannounced title. No high-budget trailer, no vague social media countdown, just a fiendish test of skill, leading to the ultimate backstage pass. Naturally, this has gamers buzzing. It's rare to see a studio create something so exclusive that only one person can claim victory and get the ultimate prize. On the flip side of this golden ticket whimsy is big rigs over-the-road racing, arguably one of the most notoriously broken games in history. Think unstoppable trucks that drive through buildings and a total absence of collision detection. Many consider it a meme, not a classic. Yet, a publisher called Marguerite Entertainment scooped up the rights, proclaiming they're excited to reintroduce this beloved property. Nobody knows whether to laugh, cringe, or prepare for the second coming of the gaming world's biggest punchline. In the best-case scenario, they lean into the chaos and make it intentionally comedic. Worst case, Big Rigs 2.0 arrives and the internet collectively facepalms. Either way, it has folks talking, and that's half the battle in this industry. Finally, in a twist that sends us hurtling back to the past, a super slim PlayStation 2 has emerged on international shopping sites. Picture a PS2 Slim that's been sliced in half, yet supposedly still runs original discs. It's unclear whether this contraption is fully licensed or some bootleg wizardry. Either way, collectors are buzzing at the thought of owning a reimagined piece of gaming history. Does it actually work as advertised? The jury's out. But it's hard not to be intrigued by the notion that an already tiny console could be shrunk even further. Retro fans and hardware enthusiasts are all over this, discussing whether it's worth the risk or simply a fun item to display on a shelf. In a way, it captures the essence of this entire month in gaming. Weird, possibly impractical, and absolutely conversation-worthy. On the other side of the world, one of gaming's most beloved creators, Masahiro Sakurai of Super Smash Bros. Fame, tossed his hat in the ring with a bold statement. Japanese studios shouldn't water down their cultural flavor just to expand in Western markets. He argued that the unique charm of Japanese games, whether it's quirky anime aesthetics or layered RPG mechanics, belongs in those games because that's why people love them. Some fans have celebrated his perspective, relieved that a big name is defending the originality that put Japan on the global gaming map. Others question whether ignoring the Western audience's tastes might backfire financially. Still, Sakurai's voice carries weight. When the guy responsible for one of Nintendo's most iconic crossovers speaks, the community listens. His comments have effectively reignited a conversation about authenticity versus commercial appeal, and it's anyone's guess whether this advice will shift game design philosophies going forward. While Dying Light overshot its collector's edition, ID Software is ignoring the concept of a fixed timeline altogether with Doom: The Dark Ages. Typically, if you launch a prequel set centuries before a current game, you'd expect it to tie into established lore. But the team has made it clear that they aren't boxing themselves in. If you think they'll end this medieval demon hunting romp by locking the Slayer away until Doom 2016, think again. Their logic is straightforward. If the game ends by funneling everything into the modern timeline, there's no room for a sequel in the medieval universe. They'd rather keep the possibility open for more chainmail and crossbow demon slaying in the future. Some fans love the idea of infinite creativity, while others were hoping for a neat tie-in. Regardless, it's a testament to ID's philosophy of putting fun and possibility first. You don't become a cultural icon by coloring inside the lines, after all. So for the chaos conclusion we have from a so-called recession thighs of a Japanese RPG to a game so impossible it granted someone a private studio tour, the gaming world has outdone itself in strange and surprising ways. We've witnessed big rigs try and make a comeback, corporate giants playing chess with billion-dollar moves, and even a next-gen console rental so cheap it sounds like a myth. On top of that, we saw an absurdly priced collector's edition that nobody touched, a beloved shooter series ditching timeline constraints, and a retro console that might as well come from a parallel universe. If there's any constant in gaming, it's that nothing ever stays predictable for long. One day, you might scroll past a rumor about a developer tying designs to the stock market. The next, you could see a headline about a clone console that defies logic. The key takeaway: the line between reality and satire in this industry grows blurrier by the minute. If you likes any of this, slam that button. If you want to be the first to get any more crazy and insane gaming news, subscription is the way to go. So hit that button now. So, which story floored you the most this time around? Is it the Golden Ticket Challenge, the borderline impossible rental deal, or the attempted resurrection of gaming's biggest joke? Let's hear it. The comments section is waiting for your best theories, hot takes, and general confusion. If history tells us anything, next month could be even wilder. After all, the gaming world never stops finding new ways to keep us guessing, and that's exactly why we love it.